having to do a repair on the bathroom. And I've already started some tear out stuff because I'm notorious for forgetting to film beforehand. But what's happening is the subfloor right here, as you can tell by the cracked tiles and tiles that are popping up around the toilet, is sinking. It's rotting and it's sinking in, and the toilet is sinking in. So we're having to replace the subfloor. And since we're having to replace the subfloor, we're going to go ahead. The vanity's been falling apart for a long time. So we're going to replace that. And we're going to go ahead and pull out the old paneling. And there was trim around here I've already popped off. And we're going to replace the paneling with beadboard and new trim and then new floor trim. And then we'll bring in a new wood laminate flooring. And then do some painting, some much needed painting. And then new trim along the ceiling as well. So we will get our subfloor fixed. We'll get all these cracked old tiles out of here, put in floor laminate, laminate wood flooring, a new vanity that is working properly, and a new sink faucet that's working properly. And we will put up paneling, new paneling, beadboard, the whole bit. So here is the before shot. And then eventually we'll fix this linen closet, this open shelving linen closet. We'll get a repair as well. So here's where we're at so far. My son helped me pull out some of the trim and the old wood paneling that was up. And we have discovered some really bad rot, and underneath this tile there's a big giant hole. So this is where we're going to have some subfloor done. This is the area where the subfloor is the worst, is over here. And this is the old cast iron pipe goes straight up. That's the sewer pipe, so I don't know if we're going to get that replaced or not. But we will be tearing out tile next, once we can take the toilet and the sink out. We're not quite to that point yet. And we're also going to try to sand this old original door down and see what's underneath all this paint. And we also found some really cool wallpaper that is old. This is really old. This was underneath the paneling, and some of it was painted on top of too. So this is some of the original wallpaper. We figure, I don't know, 50 years old or better at least. So that's where we're at so far. All right, here's where we're at so far. The construction crew is showing up today. We've done a little bit of tear out. There's definitely some areas of moldy drywall. They're gonna pull out all of this because we're gonna put in a laminate. They're gonna go ahead and pull out the toilet and finish all of that. We've got pulled off the rest of the old wood paneling that was here, and there's definitely some mold and stuff, which I'm glad that's gonna be taken care of. So this is where we are at the moment.
Hey, pretty good. How are you doing, sir? Okay, we'll get a contract typed up and send everything to you.
Holy cow.
Oh, that's a straight hole, and that's deep. What?
Well, sadly today I was gone all day, so I missed all of this going in and couldn't film it, but this is where we're almost done. Almost. Very, very, very close to being done. Got to put in a new threshold, fix whatever's going on back there in that corner. I don't know what that's all about. And then we've got some more floor trim to put around. And I'm gonna repaint and some more trim to go around the top there, the crown molding. I'm gonna end up painting a lot of this. And obviously, new toilet. And we have a new pipe going down there. Yay. That's always a good thing. So all of this should get finished up tomorrow. It's gonna be real nice to have this done. So yeah, it's gonna be real nice. I can tell you it smells a whole lot better because what was happening is we were getting sewer smell in here from that thing leaking. And the floor is level. You can feel that it's level. So, and they'll go back and trim this out too. The bathtub is in here crooked. So this is not necessarily their problem that doesn't all line up. The bathtub's crooked. But that was the least of our worries. So there we go. We'll catch it tomorrow with everything else going in place. But for now, that's what we have. I discovered these wall sconces at our local flea market, and I am thinking I want to put them in the bathroom. I kind of like the patinaed look. They're in kind of rough shape. I'm not quite sure how these crystals are really supposed to be on here because the other one was missing all the crystals. It mounts like this. Was missing all the crystals were not hanging. They were in a pile, so I've sorted them all. And then it has these little hangy pieces. And I'm not sure what these are. At first, I thought they were, you know, the original candle snuffer when you had wall sconce that had a candle in it. I think that's what these are supposed to look like or emulate. I don't know. But at the moment, I have a pile of crystals and pieces to get these wall sconces put back together. And I'm thinking I'm not going to wire them. I think instead you can buy battery operated, remote control operated light fixtures that are the old fashioned Edison lights that you just screw into a lamp and you don't have to wire it. So I think I'm gonna look, they're kind of pricey, but I think I'm gonna look into it just so I don't have to deal with trying to wire these after we've already done all the drywall and putting up the beadboard in the bathroom. But this pile is eventually gonna make it to the bathroom. So here's where we're at on the bathroom project. The contractors have done their part. And it's up to me now to sand and stain. I have sanded this old original oak door. I could not get it down. There were 3 layers of paint already on it. I would have loved to have been able to get it down to the wood. I think that would have looked gorgeous. But I gave up. So I think we're just gonna paint this white and all the trim on the outside white. And then when you come in the bathroom, I'm gonna fix this and make it a cabinet, make this nice wood and put some doors here and some shelves in here. So we'll finish that. They had to patch that drywall back there. It was in bad shape. And I told him not to worry about finishing it too much because I was going to turn this into a cabinet. And then I'm going to stain this bottom piece right here. I'm going to stain that to try to match the flooring. And then the beadboard, I think, is going to be antique goose egg. And that piece of trim will be antique goose egg. And then I think this is going to be white. And then the top trim will be stained. And the door on this side, see, I wish I could have got it down to this because it's probably a gorgeous door underneath there. I just didn't have the wherefore. So we're probably going to paint this and the trim, that goose egg as well. So they've got all the beadboard up. And now it's just up to me to paint and stain and do all the fun stuff. The new cabinets in here, new flooring. I went with a wood laminate. New toilet. This was quite a challenge. They did not move the toilet location where the flange went, but modern day toilets now have very small tanks on them, narrow tanks. So there's a gap on our wall, and there was just no working around that. We just couldn't, that was as close as we could get it. So that's one of the things with new toilets in old houses. But we're gonna keep the shelf right there. And like I said, paint, stain, and then I have a shelf I'll put back up there. I have a shelf I'll put there. The mirror, I think the sconces, I can't back up far enough, will go on either side of the mirror and the sink. And then I have 2 hooks I'll put over here for towels. And then I'll probably put a hook right here for a towel too as you're getting out of the shower. So that's where we're at right now. So still a lot of little finished project stuff to do on it. And I'll paint that piece of trim I put in there, probably the antique goose egg as well, if that's what we end up going with. So, heavy sigh. They worked really hard. It took them basically 3 days that got spread out over 4, because we had one day where they only did a couple hours before they had to go to another project. So basically it was 3 solid 8 to 10 hour days, and the floor is completely level now and sturdy. So hopefully I can get under the house to show some footage. They didn't take any pictures. The day they did all of this, I was unfortunately not home to film, but they had to put in all new joists, new supports underneath. It's the most level floor in our entire house right now. It is level from door to wall. And before, it was 1.5 inches lower on this side than it was from the door. 1.5 inches. That is no longer the case. So there we go. That's where we're at so far.
Okay, so let's do a final walkthrough on the bathroom. Everything that we did. New threshold, painted the outside of the door and the trim. Inside, new flooring. We ended up not doing anything in there just yet. I'm kind of trying to keep an eye out for an antique cabinet or something. I think that would fill that space really nicely. We did not do anything to the bathtub because the bathtub did not demand an update. Got a new toilet, new flooring, new beadboard, new trim, upper and lower, and new vanity, and new beadboard over here on the mirror. Trim upper, painted the door this side. This is the vintage duck egg shade. There you go. That's the bathroom completed.